Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whenever this shall reach your desktop or your laptop, whatever device you might be using. My name is Franklin Chalale, and I'm going to talk about a total life change. Now, basically, I'm looking at a question that I'm asking myself, ladies and gentlemen, about whether each of us is really reaching their full potential. Like I said, my name is Franklin Chalale. I'm doing this recording from South Africa. And so this is my contact information in the event that you may want to contact me after you listen to this presentation right here. I'm going to make very short presentations of a 14-part series of basically a search, a quest to ask the question, are you realizing and achieving your full potential? Now, I'm not asking you as if I'm not asking myself the same question. I am actually asking myself the very same question. Am I, Franklin Chalale, realizing and achieving my full potential? Ladies and gentlemen, we human beings have set some very serious human potential. But unfortunately, very few of us really tap into that potential that we have to really come up to realize our full potential. And so these 14-part series of very short videos are going to be a quest to find out, in essence, am I or are you realizing your full potential? Now, I'm just thinking to realize our full potential, we have many spheres of our lives. Okay, we have the social sphere of our life, we've got the physical sphere of our life, we've got the spiritual sphere of our life. We've got many areas in our lives where we have to ask the question, am I realizing, not only realizing it, but also achieving my full potential? And so this is the question I'm going to ask you, sir or ma'am, are you realizing and achieving your full potential? Now, Henry David Thoreau said something similar to this. Men and women are born to succeed and not to fail, right? Men and women are born to succeed and not to fail. Now, this statement alone is saying something to me that is really deep. I am born to succeed and not to fail. And so many times then I have to personalize this kind of statement and say to myself, I am born to succeed and not to fail. So that whatever impediment, whatever hindrance, whatever encumbrance, that should not make me feel or think that now my destiny has been changed. Now I'm born to fail. On the contrary, I am born to succeed. You are born to succeed, all right? Now, there's somebody who said the following, Mr. Dexter Yeager. He's one of the few people who are financially successful in life. Of course, we are talking about success in many areas of our lives, reaching our full potential in many areas of our lives. Now, Dexter Yeager has happened to be one of the few who are successful financially. Now, he said the following: a person who is successful has simply formed the habit of doing things that unsuccessful people will not do. Now let's repeat that. A person who is successful has simply formed the habit of doing things that unsuccessful people will not do. The question I have to ask myself is this. Every day as I wake up, right? As I go to bed, during the day, can I say to myself, I'm doing things that unsuccessful people will not do? I'm going to ask you the same question. Are you, in the morning, in the daytime, at night, right? Are you doing things that unsuccessful people will not do? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this statement also moves me dearly. All right. Now, as you might know, Mr. Henry Ford, the originator of the brain behind the Ford Motor Company, he said something very deep as well. He said, if you think you can, you are right. If you think you cannot, you are right. In other words, all that is really happening is happening between my two ears, between my brain. If I think I can do this and the other, that means I know I can. My brain begins to work towards that direction of knowing that I can. But at the same time, if I think I cannot, my brain begins to negate and refuse this thing that I'm supposed to be encountering. And so I'm beginning to think I cannot. Now, as always, I always like to personalize this statement. If I think I can, I'm right. If I think I cannot, I'm right. So it all depends on how I take life. Now, by the way, there's another statement, profound statement from Jesus Christ. It is recorded that he said, in the blue words, according to your faith be it unto you. In other words, he's also saying, Jesus is recorded as saying, all success, All failure is going to be between those two ears, between your brain, in your brain, right? So according to your faith, be it unto you. More faith, you achieve more. Lesser faith, you achieve less. Right, ladies and gentlemen? And so I'm kind of amazed that Henry Ford used a similar statement, which was perhaps, written 2,000 years before his time, Henry Ford's time. And so, ladies and gentlemen, according to your faith, be it unto you. Now, I'm sure you've heard something called the flea experiment. Now, for the sake of this short video, I'm just going to make an illustration this way. It is said that fleas, those little bugs that bug our cats and our dogs, it is said that fleas can jump a certain distance. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use a distance such as 100 centimeters, right? 1 meter. Now, the potential of a flea is to jump 100 centimeters or 1 meter, right? That's the full potential of a grown flea. Now, experimenters, scientists, took fleas and put them in a container. But now this container that they put the fleas in was 80 centimeters tall. All right? In other words, each time these fleas jumped or leaped, all right, they always bumped their heads against the ceiling because there was an impediment there, there was a hindrance there, there was a wall there, there was a barrier there. And each time they hit themselves against this wall, they always jump down, back down, right? In other words, they cannot go beyond their full potential. They can go to 100 centimeters, but because this container is 80 centimeters, right? The fleas are always willing and wanting to go beyond their potential, but there is an impediment, there's a wall, there's a barrier, there is something saying, no, 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 you cannot go this far, right? Now, the scientists discovered, by the way, that the second generation of fleas could not even jump that 80 centimeters. They jumped lesser than 80 centimeters. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are not really talking about fleas over here. We are talking about you and I. Could it be possible that we have been told several times over, or we have even told ourselves several times over that we cannot go beyond this wall, we cannot go beyond this impediment, we cannot go beyond this barrier, we cannot go beyond this border, this ceiling? Is that possible that some of us have been telling ourselves that? In fact, I have read somewhere where it says that 87% of every internal conversation that I have with myself, the internal conversation, the inner conversation that I have myself, 85 to 87% of that, I heard that it is called a negative conversation. In other words, whatever I'm telling myself, much of what I tell myself is actually negative about myself. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are not really talking about fleas, right? We're talking about people. How many people out there, are negative about themselves? They think, I cannot do it. It's too difficult for me. It's not too easy for me. And therefore, what do? We choose the easier way. The easier way being, I will not go beyond this thing. I am satisfied to be where I am. In fact, I remember one time I was asking my students, I was teaching somewhere in Asia, and I asked my students, I said to my students, tell me, how many of you here in this classroom? Now, let me just let you know. Part of my students were doctors. Some of my students were professional engineers, scientists, nuclear physicists, all kinds of people. And when I asked them the question, do any of you think you can ever earn over $50,000 a month? $50,000 a month. All of them said no. I kind of feel sad that they said no, because that now means they have agreed to say to themselves, I have put a ceiling above which I think I cannot go beyond, right? Now, I'm not sure if it is proper to think that way, to think that this is beyond me. I'm not certain. And so we're trying to discover what? The full human potential. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's not make this thing too long. Dennis Waitley said, it is not what you are that holds you back. It is what you think you're not. It is not what you are that holds you back. It is what you think you're not. Now, of course, as always, I'd like to personalize this. It is not what I, Franklin Chalale, it's not what I, it is not me that holds me back. It's what I think. I'm not. Okay? It's not what I am that holds me back. It is what I think I'm not. So in other words, if I think I'm not going to be successful, lo and behold, I am not going to be successful. Okay? If I think, you know, um, I'm not going to be blah and blah, that's definitely going to happen because my brain has already put a brake and says you cannot be more than what you think, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this video, this short video clip. I'd like, if you want to know more, please contact me because, again, as I say, this recording is done in South Africa, and this is my contact information. All right. If you want to get in touch with me, this is my contact information. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is the end, but as I said, this is a 14-part series, so we are going to look at part 2 of this presentations over here today. Thank you very much.